just looks so close. Oh, I guess it does. Hold up. Give me give me a second. I feel like it does not. This is unnecessary. Uh yeah, let's I don't know if that's necessarily of any aid. Someone's mowing the grass outside. There we go. That does. Oh, wait, no. Nah, it is what it is. I feel like, oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe that is better. It was just like a lot. It was just a lot. It was too much. And I feel like this is essentially the same. Anyway, hi, hello. So today, I don't know. I think I'm gonna do an I Ching thing, and I have the thought it's a jammies and wine kind of day today. I got out of bed at like noon something, and it's just the vibe. I'm supposed to be productive today, but my productivity is mostly like on the computer, so I can still jammies and wine and do that. So today, I think I'm gonna do an I Ching. I already have 6 things pulled up in this scene. I'm just gonna like do this. Um, this is what I'm using, like I did last time. That way, like I don't know, I don't have to clutter the screen. I was gonna do it in the other room and like put it up on the TV, but that's not happening. I don't remember how I did this. I think I flipped 3 coins. Tails, heads. Heads is yin, is a solid line, H for heaven, and tails is the broken line. Wait, I said that backwards. Heads is yang, the solid line for heaven. Tails is yang, the broken line. And we're gonna see what's up. I have the book of changes, so if anything changes, I can pull if I want, if I feel, if I want or feel. Then we'll go from there. I've only technically done this. Hey Sandra, how you doing? I've only technically done this for one sign, and that was Capricorn, and then I did a general one because I forgot. Um, I guess I will in this scene. We're gonna do this and this. There we go. Oh, perfect. I don't even have to. Yeah, okay. I'm going to. Oh gosh, now I have so many windows open. I am going to. One second. I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna flip 3 coins. Flip a coin, fun, not fun. There we go. Yep, I'm pretty sure this is what I used last time. There you go. This is what we're gonna use. It's flip a coin dot fun slash flip dash 3 dash coins. This doesn't count. We're gonna build it from the bottom up. So heads is yang, tails is yin. If it's 3 yangs, it's divine yang that changes to yin. If it's 3 yangs, it's divine yin that changes to yang. And those will be the changing lines that I read. So line 6, whichever has more wins, we got more heads than tails. So the bottom line is heads. yang, yin, 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 yin. Oh, I'm not even counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top line, yang. Wow. Yang, yin, 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 yang. If I had to guess, there are no changing lines this time, which means that I have all of these extra tabs for nothing, which also means that it's going to be a short video. I guess this is collective because, again, I didn't choose a thing. Here we go. Hey, Holly, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I think the time of rest is closing. I've been spending like quite a bit of time either like with family. Yeah, I've been spending quite a bit of time with family that I've been enjoying a lot because I'm planning on, I'm hoping that there's a move. Well, yeah. I was gonna say, well, like if I could find whatever here, then like maybe I wouldn't have. Yeah, there's a planning on a move, so I'm enjoying the family time. I'm enjoying the break as I've been thinking and processing how I want to move forward. I think, and I've mentioned it before. I think I've found a way that I didn't expect to do exactly what I've always wanted to do, which is interesting. I've gotten to do things that I've gotten to do one thing that I kind of considered. Um, but in my mind, I guess it wasn't as big of a deal as it was. I gotten to do some things that I never thought I would do. I've done things I didn't think I'd ever be capable of doing. And now it's time to head in a certain direction that I'm excited about. It's one that honestly, it's one that I am legitimately interested in. I think for a time, there was a period in my life where things were particularly like bleak and I didn't have much thought about the future. So when it came to like what I wanted to do, it didn't really matter. But now that I think about it, like this opportunity would be what ninth grade Patrick, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, ninth grade freshman, high school freshman Patrick, grade 9 Patrick was like really into. And in my last semester, I took a class that sort of like, it almost like closed the loop, but this would bring it full circle in a way that I'm literally only recognizing right now. So, yeah, I mean, if everything works out, then the cards that I pulled for me would be accurate. Is it self fulfilling when we pull cards or when we get readings? I don't know. Who knows? No, no, because if I would have had it my way, because the way that I originally went about doing it, I wouldn't have ended up here. And what's interesting is like when I was in India, I found out about this company. When I was in India, I found out about this company through a family member of my friends on the day that we went to the temple. So I did get to go to the temples. Like we went to, I forget what it was called, but it's there's a word for it where it's like it's a temple, but it's for more than one deity. And Kali Ma was the main deity, and then there was the side for like Lord Shiva, and then there was like it was like the whole family, like all in one place. It was kind of spectacular, and it was on that day that this opportunity came into my awareness. And at the time, I was like, man, but then I would have to leave and like all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm doing well. But also I've been like playing a lot of games and I've been resting a lot. So today starts the work of like updating my resume and stuff like that. Anyway, that's how I've been. I'm doing okay. All in all in all in all in all in all, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you, Holly? Did I ask? Hello. So we've got our, if memory serves, I think this isn't, what is this? Is this thunder over lake? Maybe. I could literally Google. See, I wish there was a way to do this. Oh, wait, I can just pop out the chat. Duh. I didn't necessarily think I would be using this window, but I guess it works since I don't have like 5 different things to look up. One fan is gone for the weekend. She left today. I guess today is the day of departures. I have another one of my friends who's like traveling. Apparently now is the time to travel. Okay. Yeah, no problem, of course. Glad to hear that you are doing well or that you're doing good. Okay, so it's fine. I don't know what I thought I was gonna do, but I am definitely not doing it. I want to pop this back in. Record chat. There we go. Okay. All right. For the sake of transparency, we'll say I Ching trigrams. Oh, here we go. We got a little image. So we have. Oh wait, crap. Oh, that's fine. Come on, because this will give me. Um, Hello. There we go. Wait, what? What is happening? Why is this not doing what I want? There we go. Okay. So this is mountain over. Let me see. No, this is the I Ching hexagram. Yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yang. So it would be mountain, the top trigram, bottom trigram would be this one. Oh, I don't think my cursor's on. So 7 at the top, mountain is the upper trigram. The lower trigram is thunder, which is the fourth one. So the intersection of 4 and 7 is number 27. I Ching number 27. So I'll come over here. I'm just going to drag this down like here. Oh, crap. Oh, that's 38. So we got to go up some. Again, nothing is changing. 32, which is interesting because, like, we've had at least one. I feel like every time, well, more often than not, a lot more often than not, at least like 85% of the time, if not 90% of the time, that I've cast an I Ching with changing lines. There's been at least one changing line. Like, this is so stable. I guess we'll see what the I Ching is. You know what I mean? But it's intriguingly stable. 24, I went too far. Here we go. E. A plump face is an indication of auspiciousness. Look at his face, and you will know that he has enough food to spare. Is this one? I can't. I mean, since it's only one, I might be able to just. I'm going to do two things since there's only one of them. If I can keep the window straight. So give me a second. And I'm going to snip and sketch. Or just use the snipping tool. And I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to put it in this window that I have the window capture on. I'm put it in the scene that I have the window capture on. We're going to come over here. Give me a moment. We're going to put an image here. And then the image, it's going to be the capture. Cool, love it. And we're gonna make it big. Yeah, since I don't have like 5 of these or even 3, I'm gonna put this here. And then I'm gonna grab the I Ching from the Book of Maps really quick. And I'm also gonna put it on here. I guess I wish that I could so I have multiple scenes. I'm using OBS on the back. I wish that I could leave it on one scene as I'm fixing up another one or as I'm setting up another one without stopping the virtual camera. Maybe I ask for too much. Maybe I ask for what I deserve. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this. This is the Book of Maps from the Vitruvian edition of the Spirit Keepers Tarot, made by Benebell Wen. You can find her on YouTube at BENEBELLWEN. I'm pretty sure. Or BENEBELL space WEN, Benebell Wen. And she's on the internet. She's one of my favorite people. Honestly. What's that song? Turn around. Ooh. Okay. All right. All right. This is interesting. Why am I almost a little bit of seeking ye shall find, asking ye shall receive type energy from the jump? Now, maybe there's more to it. This is E. It's also interesting because E is the number 1 in Chinese. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。Number 1, E. E. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。And of course, my pronunciation may be wildly wrong. I'm almost there. Oh. What? Okay. I didn't think I can have multiple files with the same name, but wait, I can do this. Okay, one moment. And then do this. And this. Now these, it's fine. We'll just do that. Okay, I guess you can see this part. I'm just like trying to match these. That's good enough. So this is our I Ching today. And you can read it. Nice. Okay. Yes, she is amazing. One second. All right. So using the illustrated I Ching, it's just a plump face is an indication of auspiciousness. Look at this face and you will know that he has enough food to spare. And then from the Book of Maps, corners of the mouth, nourishment, E, mountain over thunder. Open your mouth to begin receiving the. Oh my gosh, you can't even see it. Hold up. I didn't realize I had cut it off. There you go. Open your mouth to begin receiving the nourishment you seek. Good fortune can be had if you take affirmative action toward your own well being. Pointing at the self. To know the self is to know what goes in and what comes out of the mouth. The true measure of who you are is in how you nourish your body. What you put into it, balance with your speech and the words you let out of your mouth. Do not abandon your own inner oracle. Listen to the divine within. Nourish that divine within. This is interesting. I was watching something the other day. It was reading by somebody on the internet that I don't remember. And I was thinking of the solar plexus because he was like, I wasn't even, I was like listening to it. I wasn't watching it. But he was like, this card has the 7 chakras. And then he was like, close your eyes and whatever. My brain was already like yellow. He was like, color corresponds to a chakra. Yellow is the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is all about like nourishment, but it's nourishment in more than just like the food that we eat. It's also nourishment in like the words that we listen to, the thoughts that we think, nourishing our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our souls, nourishment in every kind of way. And that nourishment, it's obviously here. I guess like if we look at all of there's a channel created by that yin energy in the middle of this. It's also number 0, like a stylized 0. But there's that yin channel that's cut by this yang energy. So like there's a vessel there. Also, that black box energy. To know the self is to know what goes in and what comes out of the mouth, but it doesn't necessarily talk about what's happening inside of the mouth. Now, the last black box that we saw was I'm just going to pull up the community post. Because I'll put a picture of it. Did I save this picture? From 429. It was the corruptor, the destroyer was coming in. The bereaved and the keeper were going out. And then in the black box was the Ace of Swords, the Star, the 6 of Swords, and the Empress. This image would have to be on my computer. Oh no, it wouldn't have to be if I uploaded it from my phone. Um, I guess I'll just snip this too. I'm snipping everything today. So on the community page from 429, this was the last black box that we saw. Now we don't necessarily have to see what? Now it won't let me. I have two files with the same name. They have to be different file types or something. Because it won't let me do this one. This was the last black box that we saw. I'll try to put it. We'll see. Can y'all still read that? Maybe. Because when this is full screened, it looks a lot different than when it isn't. Like in the actual YouTube preview window, it looks a lot bigger, or it's a lot easier to tell. This was the last black box that we saw. Oh, don't want to. Is this image 3? There we go. And then I'll just move this one here. Like so. You can still read the text. Kinda. Let's see. But this image, you know what, we'll just hide this and this. Oh, not lock. We'll hide these two. And then I'll just like blow that up. So this was the last black box that we saw. That did not do a great job. The 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Cups and the 10 of Swords went into the black box. The 3 of Swords and the Keeper came out of the black box. Now, it's interesting that the Keeper is here because I'm just going to grab the SKT. I think that'll be a little easier. Now I got to run to the restroom. All right, brief intermission. I'll be back. The fluids are already flowing. Okay, this is actually significant. That's why I low key love going to the bathroom in the in the middle of the stream, because I'm like, I have all of these like epiphanies and realizations or whatever. Yeah, that's what I just grabbed it from. Oh my gosh, you could see some of my subscriptions. I feel like there's no one on there that y'all aren't necessarily like not expecting. I think like who's that? Reem, Rob, Cindy, Sand, and then the only three it's Body Spirit, Queen Cup, and Opal Oracle. But anyway, this is actually significant because in the collective I Ching, which I think is also on my, I think that's also on the community tab. 429 seemed like so long ago. Like it feels like there's been a month. I think I put it on the community tab. I'm pretty sure. Is it this one? 324. What? I didn't put it on the community tab? Because on the collective, so in the last collective, I Ching, there was a thing, it was an I Ching about, it was kind of like not overeating, don't bite off more than you can chew, and be mindful of like spoiled meat or a spoiled food that had gone bad. And so here in this I Ching, to have someone who is like plump with, let's turn these on, turn this off. It's like you can tell by his face that he is like well nourished. Yeah, we're gonna attempt. There you go. I don't think I'll cut it off. A plump face is an indication of auspiciousness. And like in the last I Ching, it was that yeah, it's definitely that. Now, what's also interesting is that this I Ching is associated with nourishment. This is someone whose face is plump with things that nourish the body. This is someone who is well nourished. This isn't like a junk food type bloat. Like this isn't someone who's bloated. Now, you can see the dog next to the guy. And this is the real interesting part to me. Is it a dog? Is it a fox? We see the animal sitting next to this person. And in the last black box, not that they're necessarily related, not that they necessarily have to be related. This was I Ching 27, which is E, which is, I'll just say nourishment. I have so many like little notebooks and journals and stuff. I should use it. So the keeper was in the last black box, but as soon as I saw that image, it made me think of the initiate. In the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, there are three fools: the initiate, the seeker, and the keeper. The initiate is probably the traditional fool. It's someone that's brand new, that's just about to embark upon a journey. I'm actually going to shuffle this, and I'm going to pull before and after the initiate. The seeker is the one, it's the fool who isn't necessarily brand new, has quite a few things under their belt. Their world has expanded once, twice, maybe thrice, but they've kind of sort of hit a wall. And there's more information that they need to continue going. The keeper is the fool that's made the journey from the magician to the world, has learned and integrated everything they needed to at every step of the way. And so that fool is almost a little more like Heyoka, not necessarily like the energy of it feels like something that would, like sacred clown type energy, like a jester, court jester type energy. But a court jester in the way that like a court jester that has been gesturing for a long time has to have a certain level of wisdom and almost a diplomacy to push the envelope or to push boundaries enough that they're gesturing, but not so much that they get beheaded. You know what I mean? Not so much that they offend the nobility and they're put to the blade. But I guess you could say it's like someone who marches to the beat of their own drum. And then there's the healer at the bottom. Oof, all of these scenes that we're navigating between. I'll give it one more. So, but this, it was giving me keeper energy because, or not kind of keeper. Yeah, it was giving me keeper energy because in the initiate, we see the familiar sleeping. And the story goes that when we begin our path, the familiar wakes up and it assists us along our journey. So there is a certain energy of finality or a certain energy of conclusions here. It's also interesting. I guess the more I look at this, the more telling maybe it becomes. Because there is almost like the curtain to the right reminds me of the high priestess. This throne is giving me, I guess it's not like a throne, but it's giving me a mixture between the Six of Wands because of the throne, but also the Four of Wands because we see the two, not necessarily complete pillars on the right side. Yeah, she's given a lot. I guess I didn't necessarily. Yeah, anyway. All right, this will be the last shuffle. I'll do one of these. I'll do two of those. I'll cut it. We've had two cards fall out. Strength, the Force, and the Tower. This is Leo and Mars energy. The Tamed Lion and material and spiritual colliding is the tagline for the Tower in this deck. We have the Axe of Shiva that removes corruption. We have this bolt of lightning. There's also like the Trishula or the trident of Shiva, Lord Shiva in the top. We also see the snakes. So the snakes that are coiled around the tower are the same snakes that are behind the angel and the strength card. But in the angel, we see their heads. In the tower, we don't. If Mars is exalted in Leo, is Mars exalted in Leo? Mars is exalted in Capricorn. The sun is exalted in Aries and it rules Leo. I take it back. I was like, hold up, is that accurate factual information? No, it isn't. I was going to say if Mars was exalted in Leo, then the tower would be exalted in the Force. Which almost gives this a self-induced energy. There's also, because of the I Ching in this one. Because of the emphasis on corners of the mouth and nourishment. Oh, whoa. Hold up. There we go. It's like how she's holding the lion's mouth. So this is almost the force in the tower is bringing it's almost this energy of like force feeding some kind of it's the word for things that force people to like throw up. I forget what they're called specifically. Um like if we can't or don't willingly open our mouths, or this could be like circumstances and situations in life that force our mouths open, but just in a way of like it's like circumstances that make that encourage us to be receptive circumstances that encourage us to be receptive in ways that we didn't necessarily think to be or know that we should be. Very like gateway, but it's something that like cleans out the system because it's followed by the tower. Now let's look for that initiate. I'm going to pull off the top of the deck. The joyous one, the corruptor, and the journeyman are the top three cards. We got Mars and Pisces trining Venus and Scorpio, and then we have the Sun in Virgo with the journeyman. 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. So I guess the 9 of Pentacles would be missing. So Sun and Virgo would be opposing Mars and Pisces, but sextiling Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is helping bridge the opposition between Mars and the Sun, which is interesting because we just had that. I was I just had that confusion about uh rulership and exaltation between the Sun and Mars. The Sun rules Leo, is exalted in Aries. Mars rules Aries, but is exalted in Capricorn. I was thinking it was exalted in Leo because of that Sun Mars uh, relationship. Now, again, it's also like we already have. So in the Vitruvian edition on the Corruptor, we see the acts of Shiva. The Corruptor and the SKT, the Seven of Cups and the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, every cup is related to one of the different seven deadly sins. So there isn't necessarily any choice that's the right choice in this situation. But in the Vitruvian edition, which is the third edition that comes after this one, we see the acts of Shiva in the card of the corruptor with the mirror. The acts of Shiva removes corruption. So it would remove whatever influence is behind these choices and options. And we see both of them here. Now, I could use this as an opportunity to grab the other version and pull before and after the Seven of Cups, but I'm not going to do it because this doesn't have to be 5 hours. But when it was just one each, and I was like, what? This like 5 minute video? Girl, I could never. But anyway, so almost like going back to this self induced tower. Like strength in the tower is interesting. This could be like something that we use as a source of strength, but it may not have the best. Like I always notice how the foundation is left here. So it's like the foundation is good, but what's built upon that good foundation is what needs to crumble. Um, My brain, the thoughts. So we have this corruptor, Venus in Scorpio. Oh, Mars. Mars rules Scorpio. Okay, there we go. We're back. And then we have Mars in Pisces. Sun in Virgo. I feel like these 5 cards in general, it's just like, because the Eight of Pentacles, this is us diligently working towards something. The Seven of Cups could be some kind of temptation. Now, the decorrupted, the purified Seven of Cups, like this would be the energy of taking a break from whatever it is that we're working on. This would be an energy of resting without the Tower. Oh, that's a 7-7. 16 is a 7. And then we have an 8-8 between strength and the Eight of Pentacles. It feels like without the acts of Shiva to remove the corruption of this corruptor or the corruptor, that's when a break could turn into like that's the energy of when a cheat day turns into a cheat week, turns into a cheat month, turns into like we're just like completely off of whatever. So this is, I don't know if it's necessarily intended to distract us or get us off path. But again, with the corruptor here, we can take it as a break. We can step away from it. We can allow ourselves to get further insights in the time. We can allow ourselves to focus on something else so that we can reapproach it with fresh eyes. But we have the joyous one, the Ten of Cups, on the other side of that. Whose foundation is this one Ace of Cups, which is the element of water. Now, the element of water is the Hanged Man. It's water, more modernly Pluto, and through rulership Scorpio. No. It's water, more modernly Neptune, and through rulership Pisces. There we go. Girl, how did I get to Pluto? Pluto is judgment. I feel like the last times I remember seeing judgment, it's always been like judgment calls that we're making. Um, I can see why the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles would be opposing energies. Because who wants to work for, there are some people who do want to work for whatever. I feel like I am on the spectrum. I would love to have a job and have work that is fulfilling. I don't necessarily feel like I need, like, I feel like I can be that person who can retire and stay retired. Like, I don't have to be that person that works while they're retired. You know what I mean? But I think that. Um, but I can see why this, like, discipline, diligence, hard work energy would oppose the happiness and fulfillment of the Ten of Cups. And even it's almost like the like life would be the Ten of Cups, work would be the Eight of Pentacles, family and home and personal time would be the Ten of Cups, work, career, what you do at the office and coworkers, boss would be this Eight of Pentacles. And it's interesting that the Seven of Cups is what eases the tension between these two. The force is also, it holds the north node in this deck. You see it right there by that head of that scorpion. We also see these two snakes more like this, where you can see their heads, and less like the tower, where we only see their bodies in the magician. Um, so I guess like the purpose, I guess it's like in a cheat, with a cheat day or a cheat whatever, the purpose is to enjoy, is to have something or do something that one would enjoy, but it's not necessarily to undo all of the work that was already done. Without, again, in this deck in particular, without the acts of Shiva to remove the corruption in the corruptor, to remove these background influences behind these choices, it feels like it becomes really easy to undo the work that we've done to accomplish whatever it is that we want with this Ten of Cups. But it's almost like, because someone can allow for a cheat day to be a cheat day and not a cheat year, the cheat day actually becomes very beneficial for them staying on task. It's to indulge, but not overindulge. Okay. We're still looking for. Oh, look, there's the magician. That's what I was talking about. The Magus. Looking for the initiate. Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, Death. Word together. There's the Seeker. I'm pulling from the top of the deck, thinking, I might get to. Oh, we already over halfway into the deck. I could have pulled from the bottom. High Priestess and the Eight of Swords were together. The Lovers, the Hanged Man, and the Hermit are all together. The Outlaw of the Hangman said, "Who? The Lovers," which is Gemini. So this would be a cardinal, a T square. It would be a T square between Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. So the only mutable energy that wouldn't be there is Sagittarius. But this is the water that is Neptune, that is Pisces. It's like the basis of that Ten of Cups. But so there's this lover's energy between Virgo and Pisces, which is, again, it reinforces that how the Seven of Cups, somehow Venus and Scorpio bridges somehow Venus and Scorpio eases the opposition between the Sun in Virgo and Mars in Pisces. That's almost like the difference between what we want to do and what we know we need to do. Sun in Virgo is like, okay, like it's been made pretty clear and pretty obvious that this is what needs to happen for just the overall comfort and well-being and mental sanity of all involved. But Mars and Pisces is like, yeah, but like I would rather be doing this. I'd rather be like working towards my dream. Who wants to work a night like I quit my 9 to 5. I'm pursuing acting or writing or freelancing or whatever insert dream here is. But here we see like the lovers between that Pisces Virgo. But this Pisces is the hangman Pisces. It's not the moon Pisces, which is interesting because it feels like the hermit and the moon like share similar vibes. You know what I mean? I guess the hermit and the outlaw, the hermit and the hangman can too. If the hermit is the one that isolates from society and the hangman, the outlaw, is the one that's outcast, and we can see them running similar circles. But the hangman has an element of enlightenment that the moon doesn't necessarily inherently have in its depictions. And that's much more aligned with the hermit of Virgo. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I'm literally at the top of this deck. I have 6 cards left. I could have pulled from the bottom. There we go. Oh, the Wheel of Life, the Initiate, and Holy Water. That's the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, that is the water, that is the basis. The Ace of Cups that this Nine of Cups like rests upon. The Ace of Cups, that is the foundation of these Nine of Cups. Or is the foundation of those 9 cups. Just like in this Tower card, it's not the foundation that's being stricken. It's what's built upon the foundation that has become corrupted. So this, let me switch these back real quick. So you see next to the guy, this is the familiar that sleeps at the entrance gateway of this path. And when we pursue that path, it wakes up and it accompanies us. We have the Wheel of Life and Holy Water. Holy Water also giving an energy of like purifying the unclean, the impure. The Sphinx, destiny turning. Ace of Chalices, the purifying. Literally the purifying. Oops, I just accidentally clicked something. And we already have that energy of purifying. Again, because of the Tower. The Ace of Swords is before the Wheel of Life. This is 1 and 10. Also, well, we have a 0 and then a 1. The Fool being 0, the Ace being 1. So there's kind of a mirror between the Wheel of Life and the Initiate and the and the Ace of Cups, Ace of Chalices. This is also our I Ching almost 1001 because it's the solid line and then the void, the womb, and another solid line. Yang, yin, 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 yang. Like, see this. You see it. And again, it's giving me like a stylized 0 or like a 0 on a digital clock type. energy. And again, 0 is the Fool. So altogether, I would say it's almost a story. If we resume from the last collective I Ching, there were, and I don't fully remember it, but from what I recall, the last collective I Ching had started, it was like somebody before a judge or something like that. And then it was something that was essentially be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. And then I feel like there was something about spoilage. And then I don't remember where it went after that. This would be us choosing. This is like self purging. This is us in a space of this no longer nourishes me, that no longer nourishes me. This doesn't take me in the direction that I want to go. This doesn't get me closer to the future that I want. This isn't conducive to me living the experience that I desire. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to limit this thing's influence on me, both its influence on me in terms of me craving or not craving it, but also its influence on me in terms of what my engagement in and participation with this does to my daily experience, my daily life. Right? Like, if it's something that prevents us from doing the things that we need to do, like that is its influence. Like, well, while I'm doing that, either it puts me in a state where I'm incapable of doing something, or that time that I'm spent doing that, I'm not doing something else. And again, it's not necessarily to take it to levels of extremes, but the wheel of life destiny turning with this holy water, the purifying, again, like this is destiny turning. Last time I did the fortune cookie reading, I pulled 2 I Ching cards and we saw the clock tower. I'm pretty sure. I remember seeing the clock tower at some point when I was using that deck. And it was a confluence of events, circumstances, and timings. Um, and so I don't know, I feel like I need to reiterate every time. But so if Enoch becomes Archangel Metatron, Archangel Metatron doesn't know why God, the divine, chose Enoch to welcome into angeldom. Um, when it comes to timing, it's like the timing can be different for everybody. And the point and purpose of that is it isn't to me as I am reading, interpreting, whatever, it doesn't feel like something that's marked by something like passive in terms of like if you spend 2 years, 3 years, then you will automatically be warranted or granted this thing. Um, and also with Enoch Metatron, it's not like if I do this or that specifically, then it will happen for me. It's just like there's a certain ambiguity to the nature of whatever is happening or whatever is present. Um, I guess when we looked at Cancer, ultimately, well, if we look at Cancer as a chariot, because Cancerian, the chariot has been popping up all over the place. Is one of these cards the chariot? No, it's not. Oof. We got the South Node, the Three of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So the last 3 cards were the Devil, or the Demon, the Mason, and the Sacred Flame. Devil energy, and it has the South Node on it. We've seen the North Node with the Tower. That's devil energy playing on our Ace of Wands desires, our more carnal desires. That's us It's almost like the Ace of Cups is more long-term satisfaction, and the Ace of Wands can be more immediate, instant gratification. Devil energy plays on that instant gratification. That's why, like, after we take that break or had that cheat day with the corruptor, it may be difficult to get back on track because it's like I'm enjoying doing whatever I want to do. I'm loving not having to be so diligent. And like, I don't feel like it today. Like, it's another rest day. um, and I guess with the Three of Pentacles, the question is specifically, where does it lead us? Because in this Three of Pentacles, they're building some kind of tunnel. So where does that lead us? With Devil, Ace of Wands, Devil, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. But yeah, back to this. There's something with this purifying, and the purifying is self-induced today. Something about this purifying and the Holy Water Ace of Chalices, something about, because again, it's like the bones are good, the foundation is good. It's what's built on top of it that needs to go through some kind of purification. We're replacing whatever this is with the Nine of Cups, things that we actually wish for or desire. The Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces. But again, like, that is what begins to turn the wheel. That's when destiny begins to turn. As if we have multiple destinies. And again, I feel like that's the point. In a potential world or universe where we have multiple destinies, that's why it's not just a passage of time, or that's why it's not just if I do this, 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 and that, then my destiny will turn in this way. Because there are multiple. It's like if we choose this path, then these things could happen. If we choose a different path, then those other things can happen. But the I Ching is nourishment. Someone whose face is plump with whatever it said. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go to the restroom again. A plump face is an indication of auspiciousness. Look at his face, and you will know that he has enough food to spare. So yeah, that's it. It's already been an hour. This didn't need to be an hour long, but I'm not gonna make it any longer than what it already is. I guess it's like a confirmation or a congratulation. Like, you've been making the right choices and decisions that are nourishing you and the experience that you want to have. And in that, maybe there are certain things that, oh, look, now there's the seeker. In that, there may be things that you have, the seeker and the warrior, the seeker and the sun. Maybe there are things that you within yourself have stopped doing. And sometimes I feel like it's for you to know you. Like, when you know yourself, you know what you are more and less susceptible to. Like, let's say for you that when let's say you're on a 21-day thing or a lifestyle change, but for you, you know that if in that first 21 days you break the whatever at all, it's not going to stick for you. Like, if you have that knowing of yourself, then go by that knowing, right? So, like, let's say there's someone around you that's like, oh, like you can afford to skip one day. It's not going to be the end of the world. Like, if you want a cheat day, you can take a cheat day. Like, one of my coworkers was doing Ramadan, and one of my other coworkers was like, "Haven't you ever heard of a cheat day?" Because we were talking about going to like get lunch or something, and I think we had lunch, but again, he was observing and practicing Ramadan, so he didn't eat. Um, and one of the coworkers was like, "Have you ever heard of a cheat day?" And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, you can cheat on yourself, but to cheat on the divine, girl, like to cheat on the Lord, and to cheat on God, hello." I mean, you can. People do it. But anyway, it was just kind of wild. But like, if you know that a cheat day for you while you're in that super susceptible period could very easily turn into breaking whatever it is that you're pursuing, then don't do it. You know, that's where a knowledge of yourself comes in. If you know that you can afford a day or 2 days and you'll get right back on it, then, you know, do that. It's just like when it comes to external information, influence, and or wisdom, know who and how you are. And you don't have to necessarily be the same, whatever. But if you know that it's going to make it more difficult for you, but if you can make it through that 21 days and then have like a cheat day, do that. But this one time with you too. Two cards came out face down. Of course, the Three of Swords, the Bereaved, and the Shining Flame. Bottom of the deck is the Archangel of Mysteries. This is an energy of, so we have Isis here. Isis, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. No, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Wow. I don't know. I'm just like, this is a Patrick aside, just realizing how full circle this kind of sort of is. Who knew? Okay, so anyway, back to this. We know Isis is associated with resurrection, right? We saw. I was literally thinking Saturn and Libra. I was literally just thinking because I was talking about Jupiter and Pisces, and I don't know if there's a Saturn in Virgo. The Seven of Pentacles might be because Saturn and Jupiter are opposing for some reason. Even though right now, oh, they're about to move into a square, aren't they? Because Jupiter is about to move into Gemini. I don't know. I wonder if Saturn and Jupiter will hit a square or if they'll hit a sextile. Meaning, I wonder that if before Jupiter gets to a matching degree in Gemini, if Saturn will still be in Pisces or if it'll move over into Aries. Because we would have just had a Saturn Jupiter sextile, Saturn and Pisces sextiling Jupiter and Taurus. I wonder if we'll get that again. Or anyway, or if it'll be a square. Saturn in Pisces squaring Jupiter and Gemini. Doesn't matter necessarily. But the only thing, the first association that my mind had with Saturn was like Saturn in Libra. When I said Jupiter and Pisces for the Nine of Cups. And here's Saturn and Libra right there. My brain didn't go Three of Swords. It just went, oh, Saturn and Libra. I know that's a combination. But it's almost like if after someone is resurrected, this is that like new lease on life type energy. Like someone has a near-death experience, or someone has a close call, or someone experiences, someone has a certain type of experience that inspires them to live their life differently. I was also thinking of lightning in the pyre because of the volcano in the Tower card. I was looking at the volcano in the back and I was like, I feel like that's relevant. My brain went lightning in the pyre. Again, not necessarily going to the Knight of Wands. It didn't make it that far. The association train didn't take it fully to the station. But that's what this energy is. I guess if it takes a moment or a situation, a circumstance, a happening of extreme direness, because dire is the, if it takes an extremely dire situation or circumstance for someone to go like, oh, like I need to change a lot. If I don't, my health, my well-being, my physical safety, my emotional security will be at detriment to a degree that is beyond concerning. And so that's the thing that gives them a new lease on life almost. And they move forward in a completely different way. Now, this Knight of Wands feels like it carries Wands energy forward. It feels like it carries this Ace of Wands forward in a way that doesn't necessarily fall into the traps that devil energy may have presented with the South Node. Because we just saw the Ace of Wands. It was the demon, the devil, the Mason, the Three of Pentacles, and the Sacred Fire. Ace of Wands. Bottom of the deck again is the Archangel of Mysteries. This feels like a destiny turning type of happening. And I think sometimes I saw something somewhere, or I've heard people talk about how they've had encounters with people who remind them we don't have to change just because we have a close encounter with death, or just because there is some significantly, extremely dire situation that happens to us. We don't have to change. If life is beating up on us, and like we don't have to keep on trucking. We don't have to be like, we don't have to keep moving. If we choose to keep moving, if that's the conclusion and decision that we make, and if we put work and effort behind that, if we choose to wake up and to do the things that we need to do to get healthier, or to make sure that our stay is more accommodating while we're in these vessels and these bodies on this planet, if we, get up and keep working at whatever it is that we're working at, rather than giving up because we're having a bad day, week, month, year, decade, whatever, Like, we don't have to do that. And I think a lot of times when we make those choices and decisions, or when that's the path that we take, we feel like we don't have any other choice, but we do. We could choose to continue doing whatever it is that got us in whatever position in the first place. Like, I've had friends, and I me myself, who have been in a position where, like, well, that was a really close call, that was really scary, that was really dangerous, and a whole bunch of stuff needs to change, or else our days will be more knowingly limited. But again, like, those are things that we choose to do. We don't have to. We don't have to be brave. We don't have to be courageous. We don't have to be strong. We don't have to make any lifestyle changes just because our health takes a dip. We don't have to stop talking to somebody or stop dating a certain type of person just because we end up in a really dangerous and scary situation. We don't have to do anything for any reason. But we can sort of like make those calls and make those choices and decisions to heed whatever warning that we may get, and to make whatever changes necessary. And again, it feels like that's the thing. The face is plump with things that nourish the body. You can get a plump face surgically. You can get a plump face off of junk food. You can get a plump face off of Taco Bell, or you can get and it's interesting because I was just talking to somebody and they were talking about a diet, I guess. And there was like an unlimited category of food. Like, you can eat it. And I think keto works similarly, where it's like you can eat as much of certain things as you want, but there are other things that you want to like avoid. Like, you can get plump, you can get full, you can be fulfilled, you can be sustained off of multiple things. So anyway, thank you, Holly and Sandra, for stopping by. I'm going to read out one more of these. I think it was this one. No. It was this one. No, 1 second. I closed it. Wow. Give me 1 minute. I want to read out one more I Ching. Excuse me. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. I'm going to read out one more I Ching. We're going to ask Google. We'll ask Bixby. It's been a minute. I feel like I've been neglecting Bixby. We're going to ask Bixby to give us a number between 1 and 64. Now, if Bixby gives us 27, then obviously there is no further I Ching. But hey, Bixby, give me a random number between 1 and 64.
Running some quick calculations. Drum roll, please. Your number is 4.
Number 4. Let's see what number 4 has to offer. 5-4. Inexperienced naivete. Monk. You are focused on the wrong inquiry. Divination does not seek out the inexperienced fool. The inexperienced fool seeks out divination. The divination here shall give no further information unless the inexperienced fool can return with a proper sincerity. You must find the right teacher to learn the right attitude. Be aware of your inexperience. Ignorance is pervasive, yet to err is not evil. It is naivete and a result of inexperience. Do not seek out divination again until you have mastered the teaching. This is mountain over water. But we had mountain over thunder. Now, what Patrick's brain goes to is, I feel like I've read this recently. I don't know if it was necessarily because the I Ching came out or if it was because there was an energy that reminded me of that I Ching. But in our thing, we've seen, again, like we are not the inexperienced fool. Because we see our guardian has woken up. There you go. There he is. And we're sitting on this throne. So I almost wonder if now there aren't some pathways that are open. Oh, I didn't switch it back. I almost wonder if now there aren't some pathways that are open. The divination here shall give no further information unless the inexperienced fool can return with the proper sincerity. You must find the right teacher to learn the right attitude. Right teacher, right attitude, again, maybe playing into that whole like, it's not challenges or difficulties that make us strong. It's us choosing to be strong in the face of challenges, difficulties, and adversities. That makes us strong. Challenge, difficulty, scares, by themselves, they do nothing. Because again, like there are plenty, and it's not a game of comparison, but the comparison points to obvious facts. Because if challenges and difficulties and health scares and disappointments and dangerous, toxic, whatever situations were truly like, if they truly forced us to be whatever, then everyone would be. But that's not the case. So we know that that's not true. We know that somewhere we made the choice and decision within us to be strong, brave, courageous, to leave, to do whatever. And again, it's all about these self-purifying moments that lead to and that have led to and that will continue to lead to building upon the foundation that which we wish to experience. So maybe that looks like not being placed in situations and circumstances that where one has to continuously be strong. Right? Like you can be strong and not need to constantly exert that strength. Right? Or you can be strong and it's okay to not want to have to be every single day. You know what I mean? Anyway, anything beyond this will get repetitive. But again, it is interesting that it doesn't feel like we're the inexperienced fool. Because of what already came out. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if there's a divination. I don't know if there's a pathway that will open up more because we aren't as naive as we used to be. And we can be naive and not knowing who we are and not knowing what we're capable of. We can be naive in terms of not contributing to our own success in ways of self-sabotaging, in ways of allowing doubt and anxiety and worry and fear to keep us from doing whatever in any way that we would not do whatever. If we now are capable of doing even when we don't know or don't think or whatever, then already there are certain pathways that are available to us that weren't before because we wouldn't have even tried. So anyway, this isn't going to hit it. Have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, where you find. And until next time, I got 3 seconds to spare.